Hi, my name is Kristen Husted and my business is Well Balanced. I want to tell a story of a young girl that came into my office using a cane and could barely walk. I mean, I wish I could even show you how she was walking. She was stiff from her midsection all the way down to her legs, and her legs were shuffling like she was 85. I think she's about 30. And she had this cane and she was hobbling in and she had this most sad look on her face. And my heart just broke when I saw her. But I said, come on in, how are you doing? And she just was like, fine. And I said, well, come on over here. And it's, I have office space in a waiting room. I said, please come into my waiting room and tell me what's going on. And so she came into the waiting room, she put her cane down, she sat down, and it took her a while to get there. And she said, well, I've been in the hospital for about a month and a half. And the first week I was in through emergency room situation, and then I was in a hospital for testing, neurological testing. They could find nothing. They sent me, well, all they found was that I had a B12 deficiency and I have a rare form of neuropathy. My hands and my feet tingle, but mine is so severe. She said, my dad has that. She goes, but my case is so severe that my legs and my whole body is seizing up, and it feels like it's almost paralyzed. I said, okay. And I said, does your dad have that paralyzed body? And she goes, no. She goes, mine's just different. And I said, and the doctors think that the neuropathy is causing your paralyzed legs and arms and torso? And she goes, well, it's moving up my body, and some days it's down a little bit, and other days it comes up into my arms, and I can barely walk. I said, well, I noticed. And so I said, this doesn't sound like it's connecting to me. I said, so let me tell you what I do. I told her about fascial stretch therapy, and I told her about how the body and the fascial tissue is so connected that it literally listens to everything we tell ourselves in our head. And I said, so it's very mind-body connected, whether you're hurt physically or whether you're hurt emotionally, or you're both stressed out or emotionally hurt, or you have trauma. I said, so the fascial tissue locks up, and how I work with you is to have you relax and breathe so that I can give your fascial tissue a chance to get away from the muscle being stuck and giving more a gel-like substance where it's helping our body move. I said, so I'd like to do that for you. The other thing I do is Reiki. Ray is, and I knew intuitively she did not believe in God. So I said, Ray is universe knowledge, and Ki is life energy. So the very essence of life that goes through all of us, you and me and the trees and the flowers and everything. It's that very essence that we are asking to come down and do the healing. And I go, that's the mystical part of my practice. And I said, together they're very powerful. And I said, and also I've been given a gift of reading the tissue, and I hear and I listen to what I'm supposed to tell you in order for your healing. I said, do you want to do this? She goes, yes, I'm obviously I need help, and nobody can help me. I said, all right, so come on into my treatment room. So I get her on my treatment bed, and I make the room all cozy, and I put on nice music, and she starts to breathe and relax. And I was like, wow, she's really, really ready for healing, because it's hard to walk into a place, you don't know someone, you've never had this treatment before, she doesn't know me from Adam, and to relax and breathe. But I could tell she really wanted healing. So first of all, when I'm starting to, first of all, before I start with anyone, I say, set the intentions in your heart for what you want. And then I say my prayers in my heart. And I set a very intentional, intuitively based practice. So now we're ready to go. And so I'm stretching her, and I just feel all this tension coming out, all this trauma of being in the hospital and not knowing, and the terror of it, of just, am I going to be paralyzed the rest of my life? I'm 30 years old. Am I going to be with a cane the rest of my life? And just sadness, right? So I told her, I said, I'm just feeling all this emotion and just the stress of being in the hospital. So just breathe it out. And she was. The part that really was interesting was when she got onto her right side, and I took her leg back and behind her, and I was just breathe. And I hold. When I feel a lot of emotion or tension coming out, I just hold, and I tell the client, I'm going to hold, and you're going to breathe, and just stay in your moment. I do a lot of somatic experiencing. I say, stay in the moment of the breath, listen to the nice music, feel the stretch, feel the wind. I have a little fan, feel the wind on your face, just be in this moment. And all you have to do is relax your tissue in order to get the healing. And she was doing it. She was just really doing it. And all of a sudden, all this dark energy starts coming out, and I was like, oh boy. And it was like black smoke, if I could put a visual to it. And I do get visions. And I quickly put a prayer protection again around me because I knew this was darkness coming out. And I knew intuitively, she didn't tell me a word about herself, that she dabbles in the dark arts. But I didn't want to ask her that because I wanted her to feel safe and secure. And she was doing such a great job of releasing this dark energy. So I intuitively said to her, do you feel like you wrestle with dark entities in your life? And she said, yes. I said, well, this is what's coming out, so please breathe. And as she's breathing, I'm seeing black smoke, and then I actually did see the vision of a serpent and of a snake coming out. And I just have this gift. I get visions, so I knew that it was some sort of dark entity that she had either invited into her life or somehow through what she dabbles in has come into her life. And it was filling the room. And I just know, because I've been doing this long enough, that I am protected because I asked and I stand in that light. And so I'm like, okay, God, here we go. This isn't my first person like this. And so I just said, it's coming out. And I told her, like black smoke and a serpent and a snake. I said, you're doing a great job. Breathe it out. So I probably was there for 5 or 10 minutes. And it was filling the room, and I knew I needed to clear the room, and I finally felt her clear. Then I felt the light coming in, and I said, you're doing it. You're doing such a great job. She goes, I am. I said, yes, I can tell that you're done with this darkness. And I always listen to what God tells me to say, and I said, I want you to know this dark energy does not serve you. It is not for your highest good. Do you hear me? She goes, yes. The light is for your highest good. Are you understanding this? She said, yes. I said, you are now going to be filled with the light. The darkness does not serve you. I said, have you ever been saged before? And she goes, yeah, I use sage sticks. I said, well, okay, I'm going to sage the room. Hold on a sec. So I went and got my sage. And I said, I got to open the door and let all this energy out because I don't want it around. I just want it to be cleared out. And so I would light my sage stick, which is a very Native American Indian type of thing to do, and it represents clearing out bad energy and re-clearing the room with love and light and truth and goodness, God's love and light and truth and goodness. So I lit the stick and I went around her. Love and light and truth and goodness only around her. And I said her name, love and light and truth and goodness only around her. And I say it 3 times and I'm putting it all around her. And I say it in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. But I just got the room all cleared, and she goes, yes, open the door. I said, yes, the door is open. She goes, so she knew some stuff about spirits and stuff. She goes, you need to get it out. I go, yeah, it's getting out. The light is in here. I said, let's continue on. So I continued on with her, and I got her on her back, and I did her other side, and we stretched, and I was like, wow, God, you are amazing. So it was time for Reiki. So I said, now it's time for Reiki. And I said, and I want you to say the intentions in your heart again for what you want out of this session. And I'm going to say my intentions. And of course, I say my prayers over God come down, Jesus come down, and guardian angels and everyone. I called it everyone, Mother Mary and Archangel Michael and everybody and Raphael. And I'm like, okay, we need everyone here. And I always do, but my main is God, right? So God and Jesus. And so anyways, I call upon all that, and here comes the Reiki. And so when I get all that, the person all ready with my prayers and their prayers, right? I start to lead them in a guided meditation. And if you watch any of my videos, I lead them in a heart coherence meditation at first, where they're breathing in and out love in a very, very, very slow, methodical way, love, compassion, caring, things like that, for themselves, feeling what that feels like, and then giving it out. And so that gets the heart and the mind, that gets you in the gamma state. That gets the heart and mind coherence together. That gets you ready to receive. And so then I lead her up into this beautiful place that has trees and flowers and gorgeous and peace and love, right? And then I have her dive into this water and come up onto the shore. And intuitively I knew she probably didn't want to hear that all your angels and guides are waiting there, because I always say, and your angels and guides are waiting there. But I said, come up onto the shore. I said, and when you come up onto the shore, you're going to see the light, the most holy light. The light is pulling you in, and it's pulling you in with love. So I said, so walk. She's just laying there. I'm like, so walk into the light and lay down in this healing light. And as she's walking into the light, I hear God say, because I'm just open, I'm just a vessel, I'm just a guide during these sessions, welcome back, my child. And I just go, oh, I just had goosebumps galore. So I just said, so just stay here. So then I'm quiet, right? So intuitively, I'm listening. I'm still kind of in a trance state. I just go into a trance and listen to what God says to do. So he says, put your hand on her head and on her heart. So I did. And I feel the energy going and connecting. Her head and on her solar plex. And I feel the energy going. I feel her heart, I have an itch, and her sacrum, and I connect. And I feel that connection. Her solar plex and her hip. And I'm feeling, this whole time, I'm feeling this energy connecting, I'm like, she's getting healing. It's like we're reconnecting the body. The sacrum and the thigh and the calf and the knee and the foot. And I did the same thing on the other side. And I'm like, whoa, it's like literally electrical stimulus all throughout the body. I knew she was getting healing, but I didn't know what to expect, right? I never have an expectation of what God's gonna do. Never, because that's not my business. That's between my client and God. So I finish, and she's still just out, relaxed. But I thought she could hear me. I do my prayers over her. I lead her back down. I do I surround her with God's love and light. And I said, okay, so get ready and get dressed and meet me in the waiting room. And so I left her, and I'm in the waiting room, and I hear her dad outside arriving. So I go outside, and we have this little patio with a water fountain. And so I'm sitting with her dad outside, and he's telling me all about the flowers I have outside. And I'm thinking, what's taking her so long? I said, excuse me, 1 second, I'm gonna go check on your daughter. So I go and I look, and she's passed out. So I was like, oh, honey. And I kind of tapped on her. I said, I don't want you to feel bad or anything, but you were sleeping, which is beautiful. I said, but I have a client coming in 15 minutes, and I still want to talk to you about what I need to tell you. And she wakes up, and she goes, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I said, no, don't worry. Stay in your relaxed state. She gets up. She goes, I have to go to the bathroom. She runs into the bathroom. She runs back out. She's like running. She gets her clothes because she had to get back into her dress and stuff. And I said, hold on a minute. Look at you. And she goes, what? I go, look at you. She looks down and she goes, I'm walking. I said, you are walking. Today you are walking. You do not need that stupid cane that is underneath the table right now. You have been given a gift by the light, and I want you to, and I think, say this. I want you to give gratitude in your heart for what you received today. For what you received has been mighty. She goes, I do give gratitude. And I said, yes. I said, oh my gosh, this is amazing. I said, you don't need that cane. I said, okay, I'm gonna leave you for a second. I'm gonna go into the waiting room, get dressed. And she comes in. She gets dressed, she comes in. She doesn't have her shoes on yet. And she's holding her shoes, and she sits down. Now remember what I told you, how she arrived. She was shuffling in. This girl was the 30-year-old girl. She had the hugest smile on her face. And I was like, you are walking. She goes, she still is in shock, because she literally was. When I go to do Reiki, I believe in my heart, and I know that we are in a different dimension. I know that God brings people up into a place of healing where they let go. It's another state. They're in a subconscious state, so they're ready for healing. And so really, she had to get up, get dressed, go to the bathroom, come in and meet me. And she still was in the shock state. So I said, okay, I have a message for you. Listen to me. This is very serious. And I had said it in the session too. I said, you have been inviting dark energy into your life. We can invite whatever we want into our life, right? You have been allowing dark energy into your life. It doesn't serve you. Do you see how it didn't serve you? She goes, yes. I said, okay. We can choose the light. The light is better for you. The light is better for all of us. Do you see how the light gives you life? It serves you well. She goes, yes, yes. You have a choice in life, darkness or light. I hope you choose the light. She goes, I want to. I said, okay, this is your message today. We have you. I said, you let go of the darkness. You let go. God came in, I think I did say God, came in and took that darkness away. He has given you light. You are beaming. So please listen to me when I say walk in the light. She goes, yes, I want to. I said, okay. Excuse me, I know you've been in the hospital for a month and a half and you haven't worked and things are tight. I want to work with you more if you want. She goes, yes, I want to. Excuse me. So I said, okay, so I want you to come back next week and I want you to pay for one session. I know I'm not cheap, but I want you to pay for one session. She goes, okay. And I said, and I always give back to those who I feel God's telling me to give. So I want to give you 4 more sessions after that. And I know you're going to have divine healing. You're going to have, the light is going to come in you and heal you completely. She goes, I want to. I said, okay, well, get your shoes on. I'm going to go out, and your dad's probably wondering where we are. My other client's coming soon. So I went out and talked to her dad for a while, and I'm standing by her dad's car, waiting for her to come out. And we both look, and she comes out, and she's walking. I go, she's walking. And I wish I could had a picture. Her face was like, and she looked down and she touched her legs, and then she started to stumble, almost like she was going to fall. And I said, no. I go, no. That is what the fascial tissue will do. It'll lock back up around you if you tell yourself that you are injured and that you are still sick. Do you hear what I say? Do you remember what I said at the beginning? She goes, yes. So walk in the newness. You have been given a gift today. Walk in the newness. Tell yourself you're okay. But I'm going to honor wherever you go with this, because this is your journey. I said, so if the body starts to tighten up and if it starts to come back because of your fear, right? And because you're just not sure how to deal with this, I said, that's okay. I will have you again next week. And we will work on this. You're really going to have to retrain yourself on how to walk in the newness, plus accept the gift you've been given. I said, it was a gift. And I am so excited to work with you more. And she said, I said, you have a light in you. And she was smiling like this, ear to ear. And I just said, it's a miracle today. And she said, yes. And she gets in her car, and I just almost couldn't contain myself. I wanted to run in and tell my husband, like, oh my gosh. But I had another client come in, and so I just had to be back in my therapy mode. But I literally get the privilege of seeing miracle after miracle after miracle, day after day in my practice. And today, to see someone walk in with a cane, I don't even have words for it. I say that often. I don't even have words for what goes on in my office. But I am thankful for my gift that God has given me, and I will never, ever not say gratitude and thanksgiving for it every single day of my life, because I know that He is working through me, and I am just a vessel and a guide. So I do believe we're going to have some great stories with her as she progresses, and I would love to get her on film, because if she's comfortable with that, because her story is magnificent, and it is miraculous, and it is God's healing. Just remember, the doctors in the emergency room, the neurologists couldn't figure it out. Month in a rehab facility, this sweet little 30-year-old girl in a rehab facility couldn't figure it out. She came, and in 2 hours, God figured it out for her. So anyways, have a great day. Thank you for listening.